What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Cut the Crap. I'm your host, Christian, here with my main man, Steven and Rex. How's it going today, fellas? Steven, what's up, man? We haven't seen you forever.
Bro, what you mean? I was on before recording. I just had some other shit to do, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, if it's not that imperative, I got some
It
shit."
feels forever, bro. It feels forever. Like, heart just broken off, bro. Rex, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. No complaints around here.
Yeah, I see you ain't throw on the hoodie this week.
No, we got the heat on. We got the heat on, and like I said, now we got the video rolling. So I've already ran out of hoodies. So we've
Is
gone to t-shirts. Maybe I say 3 more episodes. I'm going skins, but I have it. I have it
I,
safety.
how many hoodies do you own, Christian, at this point?
How many hoodies do I own?
Yeah,
one. I threw all my hoodies away when I moved down.
Nah,
Christina took one of mine. I had a really nice Champs hoodie, a black Champs hoodie. She took that. I don't have that anymore. And now I have a red zip up hoodie that's actually, you can see it right there in the background. That's the hoodie sitting there right next to my rain jacket for work. So if it's raining or if it's a little cold in the morning, I just zip it up on my way out. But I got one hoodie.
I think I have like 10 or 12.
Really?
Yeah, bro. And I don't. They're just sitting there, like they're in the very pushback. But that includes like track jackets and
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, so we're including track jackets. You said hoodies.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So if I include track jackets,
long sleeve.
I got my Yankee track jacket. I got my Pele track jacket. What? Which I know about that. Got an all gray one. I got in total 5 then. If we're including the track jackets, I got 5. So, but before I moved to Florida, I had at least like 15, 20. Like when I moved down here, I went to Goodwill with 4 trash bags full of clothes that were long sleeve shirts, hoodies. I kept all my jeans and I donated them out, bro. Work clothes, like clothes I bought for work because I was virtual now. I was always working from home. I had work clothes that I haven't touched in 2 years. Gone. I just gave it all up. And now I'm like, geez, I look at my closet. I'm like, I gotta go back. I'm like, I don't got really much to wear.
Should have never gave your clothes up, man.
Yeah.
Can I be the asshole on this one?
Go ahead, sir. Be the asshole.
Bro, the way you made it seem like it was so much 4 trash.
Bro, I'm talking about packed to the top trash bags, like not like halfway through. Like
yeah, that's cool.
They're ripping when you're holding them up.
You're making this. Yeah, but you're making it seem like you're a medium, dog. That's like 5 shirts that you put in 4
bags. You know what? For the audio listeners only, you got to go check out our YouTube page, Cut the Crap Podcast, to see what I just gave Steven.
I just cut the crap right there. Cut the crap right there.
Like, go check that out. Also, real quick, while I brought that up, just made me remind. I'm gonna say it at the end, but I'm gonna say it now. Our Twitter page was hacked and taken over. I cannot get our Twitter page back. We do have a new Twitter page. It is Cut the Crap Podcast. And you can find us at cut_the_crap2. Is how you find us now on Twitter. Link will be down low in the description as well. So go check us out there. But without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and jump into today's episode, which is overcoming fear of what other people think. This is a very big thing, big issue. We kind of talked about this actually on another podcast now that I think about it, but it was only me and Steven when we did it, so it'll be good to have Rex's point of view, and we kind of went into it further into more stuff, but this is a big thing, overcoming fear of what people think, because there's a lot of people that are scared to do stuff with their lives because of what other people think of them. You know what I mean? So we'll go into it. Let's jump right into it without further ado. Go ahead, Rex. I'm going to start with you, Mr. What do you think about this? What is your thought process on this?
I think it's very, very real. As someone who's been chubby their whole life and their background come from a Caribbean background, that is a deadly mix, I'll tell you, of a whirlwind of backhand compliments and just unnecessary like commentary. So um when you grow up in that environment, and if you're, I'd say if you're really lucky to develop the thick skin, as they say, that you need, um, I think it's good because, like, well, I don't think, I get my thoughts together. I don't think overall it's good for you, but if you do come out of it, then it's better because, as humans, as critical creatures, as much as people want to say that we don't value like other people's opinions, it as far as a lie as saying that we're not social creatures, and to me it goes hand in hand when it comes to that. But it also, you have to learn how to dissect um what some people say, or like, the criticality of it, I guess you would say. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just losing my thought here, but I
No, no,
had
you're
it.
fine.
I had my point. I had my point. But basically, what I'm saying is that, like, for myself, like growing up, right? Like, I wasn't very thick skinned. I was, fat jokes used to get me all the time. But then at a certain point, they didn't, and it would make you like self conscious and make you think like, damn, am I really that fat that when I turn around, it's like my birthday? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like dumb, like those dumb jokes that get through, the ones that like, get between the gloves. And then, like the reality that, people just joking, and, people don't, sometimes know the value of like the things they say. So like, words hurt, so to speak. So, again, like, yeah, like if you don't develop those kind of, you know, necessities to, protect yourself from, or realizing like, hey, like, people are full of shit, right? So you have to take that away and, realize that like your value, like your words and what you're worth. But I feel like not a lot of people get to go through those experiences and or get to talk to them, because I feel like, or yeah, talk about it, because I feel like it's one of those like, you have to go through it a lot in order to, you have to go through those social experiences a lot to overcome it. And if you don't get a chance to, then when you're in certain situations, you're just going to fail and not want to progress, kind of in that setting anymore. But yeah.
I like what you said real quick about coming from a Caribbean family and having to deal with that. I'm not sure how Steven's childhood was, but I know for mine it's the same thing. Caribbean family, Puerto Rican, Dominican. That was one thing growing up in New York. People always joke you about little stuff, and myself as well. Growing up, I remember when I was younger, I was chubbier before I started growing and thinned out more. But that was always a thing. And it's funny, they always try to tell you sticks and stones may break your bones, but words would never hurt. And
Thank you. I was waiting for that to come out.
yeah, they always say that, and it's not always true. But then I think about it, I'm like, well, the negative feedback that they were giving us, right, to hurt our feelings, the stuff they were saying, was that also a way for our Caribbean culture to get us ready for the future, where we built this tough skin and we built this persona that, hey, like, look, that what you say ain't gonna bother me anymore. I've heard it before. I've heard it from my own family. You know what I mean? I'm built different. I'm built stronger because of that. What do you guys think about that?
Are you built for it? Are you built for it tough?
Built for it tough. Yes, built for it tough.
Nah, I was about to thank you, by the way, because y'all kill me. Can I address the elephant
Yeah,
in the
go ahead.
room
No,
right
go.
now?
Floor is yours, sir.
I like you how you everybody said. Uh, yeah, I was chubby. You
Oh,
still are.
uh, yeah.
Hey, I've lost a lot of weight
Let's,
compared to where I was, but go ahead.
bro, you look like you shaved 30 pounds off with that beard you had. You look good. No
Thank you.
homo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I hope Christina gave you some loving because if she didn't, I would.
What were you
Anyways,
gonna say, Steven? Go
uh,
ahead, man.
nah, but it's true. it's just a weird episode because I feel like bullying is just part of life. It's, there's extents to it. Obviously, there's. I mean, there's. I don't even know how to word it, bro, but it's just part of life. There's always indifferences between human nature. We're always going to look for something to divide us. We could be the exact same race of people, and at the end of the day, it's going to be something to divide us.
Col-
Albeit religion,
Colorism.
politics, something, bro.
Yeah.
It's just human nature, bro. We're always going to look for something to divide us, to create um, social stigmas and divisive factors. Is here. It's not going anywhere. We have to deal with it. You have to learn how to cope with it. Unfortunately, it's an ugly facet of humanity, and it's never going to go away. As much as we try to and like, be all inclusive and um, is it? I don't want to say racism is here and it's all. That sounds ugly.
But it's true.
Bro,
It's true though.
it's gonna be there.
I
Yeah.
bet some people are like, yeah, right. Get used to it, buddy.
Exactly.
Bro, we could all be uniform people, and we're gonna find something. Just to dumb it down, just look at school uniforms. We could all, literally, all our kids, we could send them, but they're gonna find something to make fun of somebody with. Oh, he laced his shoes different or something. That's just human nature, bro. We look for something to divide, to separate, to make us different from each other. It's I don't even know how to work. It's here.
No, I agree
No,
with you.
I,
just have
I
to.
get I get what you're saying because it's definitely like as you're right, like it's definitely embedded into like
Society, bro. It is.
humanity and society for sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like bullying is bad, but like there's other ways of developing like tough skin. You know what I mean? Like when I think of bullying, like for me it's just simply like school, right? But to go back to what Christian was saying about like with like the care like how Caribbean folk are, I just think that for some for some of them like and I say this with the utmost respect, but their brain capacity is probably at a solid 65. And
Of who?
they
Of who though?
the like old school Caribbean, like the way that they talk to you, they think
Oh
like
yeah,
that's the way. Because now hear me out, right? Like, you know, they they're smart enough to know that there's a better opportunity in coming to, a first world country, so on and so forth. So they, come here to present that opportunity for their kids. So now when their kids grow up in question hand or
sir. That is not politically correct.
what?
First world is not the term we no longer use. It's a developed nation, developing nation.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Developing nation. So they come to this
No, we are
developing
in
nation.
We're
develop.
already a
No, we
developed
are in a
nation.
we are in a developed nation. We come from developing nation.
Okay.
Calling
I mean, I
calling
feel
somebody
like we're
third
still
world.
developing, but whatever. We're always still growing regardless. But I
As
guess
always,
yeah.
As always, yeah. But go ahead, continue.
as always. You're right.
But yeah, but basically what I'm getting to is that like when you're you have your kids in the developed world, there's a lot of changes, right? This isn't like the same way that you grow up, back home, right? Your your kids are gonna, develop a new identity along with the one that they've already have pre-established from their growing up, their upbringing, their background, and stuff like that. And then where I say that like the brain capacity is at like 68% because the infamous like depression conversation that comes up amongst certain households doesn't get acknowledged because in other places they don't get acknowledged. So then when you kind of put that person in in a corner into this conversation, um again, this is where I say that their brain doesn't compute because they can't. And I truly think that just some of them can't comprehend that's, you know, next level, right? And so that kind of to have those conversations. So I feel like that then is all tied in together with like, how they treat people, how they think, like, if they, like they just say like you're fat, like what the fuck, like really, like just out of all things, like to me, to me now, I was younger and I was real, like I was very sensitive, and like it is what it is. But now I've grown up, I've had my fair share of rejections, I've had my fair share of racism, I've gone out into the real world, right, and had my fair share of things that made uh me gain my tougher skin. But what I think I'm trying to get at is that, like, with my household and like the people around me, like this thick skin that they think that they were trying to give you, or trying to think, wasn't necessarily it or the right thing to do. Like where I felt like I got more of it was, dealing with the things out in the real world, like dealing with school, like after the 15th, like, fat like kid joke about what are you gonna do, sit on me, like it got boring, right? And then you learn how to get creative, and then you learn how to, essentially quote unquote fight back, right? But like with your family, it's just that like the people that you look up to, the people that, you know, uh you truly love, care, and adore, when they just kind of just jab you for no reason, and then you can't go back to them and tell them like, you look old, you look like you got 7 more years on this planet, then you're crazy. But that's how I feel when they say those things to me, like you're just fat, you big, you it's like, what, well, you're like old and ugly, so what is it, you know what I mean? But you can't do that. So I
Yeah.
don't know, I just got that off my
No, no, no.
Look
I'm
at
glad
the
you got that
look
out.
look at the look at the camera. You feel that? It's your gravitational pull.
I
Look at
can't.
the
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, that was
You better
awesome. I appreciate you being aware of that. While you were talking, I did kind of just look up some things real quick on what's the best way to overcome stuff like that, because overcoming it is is the true message here. What we want to let our audience know that are dealing with stuff like this, right? How can they overcome stuff like this? Just a quick 5 that popped up that I was just like, oh, these are pretty cool. Number 1, self-awareness. Understand that everyone has insecurities and worries about what others think as well. You're not the only one. I know growing up, that was a big thing. I always thought I was the only one. Hearing your story, like, it's like, damn, Rex, me and you you're in,
We neighbors.
we're
I was just
like,
down the street. Down the
listen,
street. They
so
called me fat in English. They called you fat.
yeah.
I don't want to get slandered. What's your native tongue?
What?
With the Spanish?
In your,
No, his native
Yeah.
tongue is
my native
English.
tongue
This
is
motherfucker
English.
don't speak
English?
Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bro, first of all, because I try to look at my glass as always
mm-hmm.
half full. Y'all some first world ass motherfuckers.
What do
See,
you
here it
mean?
comes. Here
There's
it
Oh
comes.
my gosh.
Oh, go ahead.
there's one fat kid that has it worse than
No, that's what we're saying. That's why I said self-awareness.
100.
Understand that
bro.
everyone has
Okay,
insecurities
okay.
and
Bro,
Now,
they're
this
now,
going through
now,
it.
could you imagine?
okay.
Hold on. Could you imagine being the one fat kid in a whole country?
I can't. I can't. But that would
Bro,
be really
No,
bad.
but then that's like unfortunate genes, and that
that's the
comes down
thing.
to science.
What do you
Unless you're
mean?
like gluttony,
North Korea,
gluttony.
Kim Jong Un, bro. He's the one fat guy in the whole country.
Listen. Oh my God. All right.
Bro, that's you
You're
got
on
that.
another
You
level
got
on that
that.
one.
You
We're gonna
got
leave you
that.
that
You
one.
got that. You got that.
The second
Bro, point me out another fat North Korean besides Kim Jong. And he has
we
a
wouldn't
stupid
know
ass
because
haircut to
they don't
match.
have social media and all that, so we don't have access to what they look like. So that's on a different topic. But the second thing to do is challenge your negative thoughts, right? When you catch yourself worrying about what others think, challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself if the evidence to support the fears or if they're based on assumptions. All right. 3, focus on self-approval. Shift your focus from seeking external validation to self-approval. That's one big one. I know a lot of people, especially me when I was younger, I used to look for approval from outside, like, hey,
Well,
like,
yeah,
and we all
yeah,
did, right? At high
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Today,
yeah.
no, today, like the world we live in, like there's people like even like Rex is a little bit younger than you and I, but the people who look for validation on social media is ridiculous. Like,
That's a good point.
bro, You really need somebody to tell you, like, motherfucker, I'm dope in real life. I don't need likes or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
I'm dope in
But
real life. Like,
That's
you
good.
front for a
well,
camera and a filter.
I mean, hey, I mean, but to me, then that's like, being a kid and going to like joining a gang just for the same kind of
Yeah.
acknowledgement, and you think you're cool for dropping people off and stealing and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, no, for me, to me it always, like, no matter where the clock moves in time, like there's always going to be that one, parallel of reference of what
Yeah.
people do. Like
No,
we all
definitely.
seek validations, like no matter what, whether it's the age of social media or predates that, right? Like everybody does it. Everybody does it. If you lack a certain, like, let's say a father figure at home, like you're gonna go out in the world and go and try to find that, you know what I mean? Like what you feel that as a person, um what you feel that you lack in, you're gonna go out in the world and try and acquire that, like 100%. And one of those number one things is absolutely validation. We all want to be validated. We're humans, we're social creatures. Like that's what we want. But also to add to your list, and the list is absolutely right. But the end of the day is that you gotta learn how to love yourself. And if you love yourself more than anything else, then the validation is like sprinkles on ice cream, you know what I mean? Just to keep the fat going, right? Like, it's just more of a treat than the actual whole substance. Because if you know what's going on with yourself, if you know, people are just saying whatever, and it is what it is, and you can, get over that, and who, like I said, who you are, and you love yourself, and then anything else, the validation, as Steven said, I'm dope in real life. So then that you just, acknowledge that, or what do they say? Contribute to my point, right? In that regard. So, and
Yeah,
that's it.
that was actually number five. Number four was set realistic expectations. Understand that you can't please everyone. It's okay if not everyone likes you or agrees with you. And then number five, practice self compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would to offer a friend. Remember that everyone makes mistakes and has flaws, and that kind of falls into like what you said. You have to love yourself at the end of the day, and um, a lot of people don't. I mean, simple as that. People don't love themselves. People
Mhm.
people think bad about themselves, negative, and all that stuff. And if that's the case that you are dealing with, that's something you're going through, right? You don't love yourself, and you're going through those demons in your brain and all that stuff. That's something you honestly need to seek help with and speak to somebody about. You know,
Facts.
you
I
got you
had
got to
a
let
I
it
had a
out.
I had a homie. I ain't going, super duperly name drop, but in the story, um, met him in college. He's a great dude, and we kind of had like, similar backgrounds and liking things, but we grew up in two different areas, two different, uh parts in our city, if you will. And we get to university, we're young, we're like 21, so still trying to find yourself, right? And I remember I was always confused because he used to do that. He used to doubt himself, was always unsure, and you know, and again, as much similarities that we had, or things that we had in common, that was like the big difference. And I remember sitting down, we one of our deep conversations that we have, and I asked him, about like, do you really love yourself and all that kind of stuff, and he told me, an honest answer, and like, that he doesn't feel that way, and that's kind of why, like, he surrounds himself with me, because just that when you ooze that confidence of self-love, that like for some and people who that don't love themselves, like it's good enough for them to be around, and like that's good enough. And you know we had that talk and told him, like, you need more, like you need it from yourself, right? And years later, he's been in therapy and doing all that and all that good stuff, and now like he's a lot different, and he loves himself more and more every day. And just to be able to understand what's going on, and like with you, and to be able to break down those blocks and build yourself back up again, it's like it's I'm really happy for him because you remember what he used to be like, and you're like, damn, like sometimes that used to kill a conversation, right? We're all having a good time, da 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 da, and then like you just say something that just takes the wind out of the sails, and now you see that like they've just grown from that experience, and you just want to keep building from that, right? So I for myself, I've seen someone who had like zero to little, and now is building upon that and keep doing it to this day. So yeah.
Nice, nice, bro. Shout out to you for when he talked to you about that, that he was able to confide to you, and then you were able to talk to him about that. Because you know what, that's a big thing too. People, even though we look for approval from other people, people are also scared to talk to other people about how they truly feel. So for somebody to open up like that to you, to let you know how they're feeling and what they're going through, and for you to be able
Hmm.
to, recognize that, step up, talk to him about it, let him know that, don't have these thoughts, whatever you guys might have said in your private conversation. We won't go into detail about that, but for you to be able to step up and recognize that and do what you did, you probably saved that guy's life, because who knows where his dark thoughts would have took him in the future if he was never able to talk to somebody about that and get the just your conversation probably changed his whole future in many ways.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
for sure. Like, we're still friends to this day, and you're right, it was a scary place because um I've never been afraid to admit it, but like in university, that's where I did a lot of like my exploration, if you know what I mean, right? So I did my fair share of drugs, right? So when
Fucking
you have those
slut.
kind of conversations, who said that? They said, but you have those experiences, you have those conversations, right? And some of them are for the better, some of them are for not, right? So, but but it was nice to be able to do that for somebody, just to let them know like what they see in me, I could totally see in them, and I've been seeing it in them from the beginning. So it's just to, try to just give that unwavering support. And sometimes people don't get that. And that's why I think sometimes a lot of people don't want to bring it up and talk about it because, like, another thing, and it would probably be another topic I would go on, is like rejection, right? Is like the fear of rejection, right? And I think that you need to go through it. You need to embrace it, and you need to be able to accept it, because if you don't, like, everybody has to face rejection, jobs, relationships, life, whatever. And if you try to like, out of most things, I would say, if you try to run away from that, um my like social opinion thinks that a lot of people that do a lot of uh dumb shit, that harm people, do all that kind of stuff, it's because they're not used to rejection, and they ran away from it their whole lives, and then they get to an adult or stage where they can buy things and do whatever, they have more access to means, and they lash out on the world because they're not used to rejection, they're not used to um being denied, and flat out saying no. So again, when they're in a certain situation where
That's
you know it's a typical no for you, but to them it's like it's like the end all means, and it's like, no, like there's always a tomorrow. So but yeah, before I go off into that, yeah.
Yeah, let's save that for another day. That's definitely a different topic down the future on that part. Um, Definitely way to go on that.
realis- realistically the one validation that everybody forgets about is self validation. Look yourself in the mirror. Are you happy? Good, bro. Why are you worried about what the next man doing? The next woman. You can't compare. Everybody's journey is different. Like at the end of the day, um, that's the best I can say about that. Like if you look in the mirror, and you're happy. Fuck the next guy.
Facts.
Realistically, obviously, all humans we somebody else. Whatever your factor is to get you going. Um, you know, if you want to make your dad proud, your mom proud, whatever. Those are validation points. But at the end of the day, you can't make nobody happy if you're not happy with yourself.
Very well said.
That's and I'm a huge believer in that, bro. Like the biggest obstacle is the man in the mirror.
Very well
It
Facts.
said.
ain't it
And
ain't the
and with
Facts.
it
Yeah.
ain't the next motherfucker.
It
Nah,
always
with
starts with you. It
yeah,
always starts with you.
it definitely does. And with that said, we're gonna end that here at that point. Way to end it off, Steven. That was very well said. For everybody listening at home or watching on YouTube now, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about today's topic, and what do you guys think about overcoming and all these objections and overcoming the fear of what other people think, and how do you might handle that? What do you do to get over those different challenges and stuff like that? We'll love to hear from you. Like and always, you can always send us a message at cut the crap with two P's, one at gmail.com. That's CUTTHECRAPP1 at gmail.com. You can send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Discord, even on YouTube. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Again, like I said in the beginning of the show, our Twitter, has changed because it was hacked. So you can reach us now at Cut the Crap Podcast, or cut_the_crap2 is our new handle. Come check us out there. Show us some love. We really appreciate it. Till next week, we hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and the rest of your week. You guys have a good one. Peace.